You've reached of positivity, and we're so grateful to be back on the air.
Well, I'm just so thankful to be back on here and back at the table here with you. I mean, I love commentating, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed the Tuesday show.
Absolutely, and we're looking for something similar today. Maybe not 5 overtimes, but maybe an awesome game, that's for sure. It is the biggest game in the state once again. We said it on Tuesday. Here we are again, number 1 versus number 2. Monterey, of course, coming off a thrilling 5 overtime game where Mansfield Timberview had their way in the last round of the playoffs, winning by almost 40 points.
Well, yeah, and their defense was really locking down, and they're only allowing 24 points, I believe.
That's what it was.
In their last game, and that's really what Timberview is going to have to do today to lock down Monterey, because we know Monterey can score it pretty much at will.
Yeah, they're two teams that are very similar in a lot of different ways. So let's talk about some of the players that you need to know, and of course we're going to start with Mansfield Timberview, and then the player that we're spotlighting is Krishan Coleman. Coleman is one of the many different weapons that this team has. She averages 12 points per game, almost 4 rebounds. She is one of their top scorers, and she loves to steal the ball and get back in transition.
Oh, of course, and we know that just from watching her film that we know that she's a big scorer. We know that she's a big defender too, but she's really going to be the playmaker on this Timberview team that's really going to make the difference in this game.
They got a lot of different playmakers, multiple players averaging, 2 players averaging north of 10 points per game, but a lot of them averaging 6, 7, 8 points. A lot of different players can score. For Monterey, we're wanting to spotlight Kelly Mora. Mansfield Timberview has some size on their team, and you'll see it tonight in the broadcast, but Mora needs to have a big game. She was great on the offensive boards in the last game, and I feel like that really made a huge difference in the outcome of the game against Amarillo.
Well, and in their first meeting against Amarillo held her to 5 points. And Kelly really found a way to get the ball into her hands more, and she was taking the high percentage look. She had well over 20 points, and she really had a comeback game against Amarillo that she really desperately needed.
She had 22 points in that game, and Coach Snyder's wanting for her to have something similar tonight. When we come back, we're going to have our starting lineup. Stay with us. You're watching Lubbock ISD TV basketball. We're at the regional semifinals with the Monterey Lady Plainsmen. We are back here in Wichita Falls at the Yeager Coliseum. It's a big-time matchup, Carson. You can feel the anticipation building for this matchup here tonight. The energy's here, fans are on their feet, and we're excited to bring it to everybody at home.
Oh, of course, and I thought the atmosphere at the game on Tuesday for Monterey was great. This one probably matches it. Absolutely,
and just being here, right? You can tell every game is getting bigger and bigger, and the arenas are getting bigger and bigger, and this is so awesome to see. We'll have starting lineups coming your way momentarily. You know, let's talk about some of the teams and the style of play that you're about to see. Both of these teams want to go fast, Carson, as fast as they can, right? And it's a get-a-stop defense and beat the other team to the other end and transition offense for the easy bucket. So if you're a fan of upbeat kind of style of basketball, high scoring, this might be the game for you.
Well, and that's one of the keys I had for Monterey. You know, they've been playing fast all year round. So why would they stop right now? You know, that's how they've always played. That's how they've had a lot of success. They've had success with the fast break threes, and they've had success with the fast break twos.
You know, that's what Landry Kidd, the assistant coach for Monterey, told me was, why change what you've been doing now, right? Continue to do what you do what has gotten you to this point. And so if it's not broken, why fix it? All right, as we're getting ready for the national anthem, let's toss to the highlights from our 5 overtime game that we had last Tuesday. Check it out. She drives to the cup, finishes strong! Finishes strong as Aaliyah Chavez. We're tied at 50. The clock is rolling, 7 seconds to go. If you're Monterey, you need to stop. The 3 for the win! No good! We're going to overtime here in Littlefield. That was outstanding. Amarillo was held to 11 points there in the 4th quarter. The Sandys have it. They have the ball in their hands. For a 3, for the tie. Oh! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is for the game, for the regional semifinals. The shot by Smith. Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Are You kidding me? And it's going to be the Monterey that comes up with it. And that's it. The regional semifinals. Here comes Monterey. It's time to celebrate. If you're a Lady Plainsman, you earned every bit of this victory tonight.
Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
This is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
All right, the national anthem is in the books. Of course, you got to see that exciting recap from last Tuesday. 5 overtimes, didn't get much better than that. And it's hard to come down from that, right? It was such an exciting game, but in this type of playoff atmosphere and how things go in high school basketball, right, it's a quick turnaround. You got to put that in your rearview mirror because your next opponent is going to be even better than the last, right? And you just got to keep moving on.
Well, and you got to make sure that you're not going to be as fatigued. You just played a 5 overtime game on Tuesday, so you don't have a lot of time to recover for the game today, but you just got to make sure that you're rested and you're eating well and you're making sure that you're actually staying in shape and being ready mentally and physically prepared for this game, because like you said, this game is going to be much tougher than your last one.
Well, and Amarillo High was so good, so good. Tip your cap to them. They gave you everything they had. Starting lineups for tonight, we're going to start with Mansfield Timberview. You got Tamaya Mims, the guard, standing at 5'9". She's a junior. Standing at 5'8", another junior guard, Cameron Wilson. Standing at 5'10", a sophomore, Brooklyn Terry. She's averaging 12 points per game. Standing at 5'9", a junior, averaging 12 points per game, number 12, Krishan Coleman. And finally, the post at 6'1", number 43, Zoe McClellan. On the other side for Monterey, you have the sophomore sensation, 5'9" point guard, number 2, Aaliyah Chavez. Senior, Heaven Lamone getting the start at 5'6" there. Number 10, Ambrosia Cole. She had a phenomenal performance in the last round, a 5'9" freshman, averaging 13 points per game. Then senior, 5'10" and shooting forward, Jalen Morrison, averaging 9.5 points per game. And to round out the starting lineups, number 30, Kelly Mora, the 6-foot senior that is committed to Texas Tech. There's your starting lineups, and we're moments away from this big game here at the Yeager Coliseum in Wichita Falls. Last year, this is where the season ended for Monterey, and I'm anxious to see, right, them to take the next step. A team that wants to grow in every year, right? This is the next step for them.
Well, definitely, and, you know, that's what they've been preparing for. You know, Aaliyah Chavez with a great freshman year, followed up by most likely an even better sophomore year. They're going to be looking for her to improve year after year, and she's going to be one of these leaders. If she hasn't been already, she's going to be one of these leaders for Monterey.
Well, and you're also wanting to see it for Kelly Moore and all the other seniors on this team, right? They've grown together, they've developed together, and I said it 1,000 times, and I'm probably going to do it again tonight. Iron sharpens iron. When you have Division I caliber players on your team, everyone across the board is going to get better, and you've seen that with Monterey as they develop this year. You know, our very own Hannah Gilchrist caught up with Coach Jill Schneider before all of this got going underway, and she had a great interview with her, and why don't we go ahead and toss it to it now.
Thank you. Coach Schneider, you just came off of a game with multiple overtimes against the number 7 team in the state. Now you're going in against the number 2 team in the state. What's your plan? What are you going to change up for this game?
We don't spend much time changing things at this stage. We do know the game is going to have a little different personality just because every game does. But I expect it to be a transition ball game, similar to Amarillo High, get up and down a lot, people trying to get behind each other defensively, taking quick shots. They're very good rebounders. Timberview has a great team. And we're just glad to be here. This is where we ended our season last year, in this game, in this building. So right now our goal is to just live to play another day, so we'll do our best.
I'm excited to see how far you get in this state tournament. I think you'll go really, really far. I know that Heaven Lamone came through for you last game when Ari Johnson got injured. Will Ari Johnson be playing tonight full time?
Yes, Ari's fine. She just they banged knees, and she and another player banged knees, and it was a little sore the next day. But yesterday she was moving great. This morning she's moving great, so she'll be in her normal role for us.
Well, it's awesome to know that everyone's at their best, and I can't wait to see tonight's game. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah. Great pregame interview. Thank you to Coach Schneider for the time pregame. Of course, we are underway here in Wichita Falls. A 3 ball for Mansfield, in and out. Kelly Moore battling down low and coming up with that rebound, her first board of the game. Back in transition is Chavez. Of course, you'll see her bring the ball up a lot, and as well as for Ambrosia Cole. She had a monstrous game in the last game. Driving and floating, not getting the roll, and Mansfield Timberview comes away with it.
And I love the way that Kelly Moore is really positioning herself to even attempt to get rebounds.
Foul on the play. It's going to go against Ambrosia Cole. It's going to be her first foul early on in this game. Something you got to keep an eye on, like it happened in the last game, right? You got to be disciplined in these games to not get into foul trouble, right? Especially in a big focus for Coach Schneider. And she told me this Kelly Mora and Aaliyah Chavez cannot afford to get in foul trouble like they did in the previous game, where they had 4 fouls in that overtime, and either one of them could have fouled out.
Well, and yeah, like you just said, either one of them could have fouled out, and it's really fortunate for them that they didn't, because they were the 2 leading scorers of 4 that were key for Monterey in that game.
See the officiating crew looking at this basketball here. They're out of the North Texas chapter. They're looking, talking over here, asking if they want to switch balls. Of course, you got the fans directly behind us. Moments ago, you were just saying you couldn't even know if you could hear us or not because the fans are directly behind us. And it's really cool how close they are to the action.
Yeah, I don't know what they're really looking at right now with the basketball, but I just heard one of the fans say start the game over, so we know we can't do that.
Absolutely. So they're going to look at the basketball here. They're sending the teams back to the benches here. You saw a tight shot of that basketball. It kind of looks like maybe the grip on it, maybe could have been wet. Who knows?
You know, your guess is as good as mine. I really don't know.
They're looking at the basketballs directly behind us. Could y'all tell us what was wrong with the ball there? Oh, okay. They pointed towards the hole of the ball where they have the pump in it, and they were showing a little indention right there on it.
Oh, I got you. Maybe a little disformation with the ball.
Yep, there we go. So there's your good thing we're sitting right next to the scorer's desk, huh? We were able to get that answer right away.
Yeah.
So it didn't take long, but it's Cameron Wilson at the charity stripe. She made her first free throw opportunity, and she's about to go back up there for her second. Of course, Ambrosia Cole was called for the foul. Cameron Wilson averages 9.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds. And when you look across the board at this Timberview team, Carson, they're a team that is very balanced. There's a lot of them that get more than 5 points per game. Any one of these players can put up a lot of baskets on any night.
Well, and just like you said, more than 5 points per game. You know, Cameron Wilson had 9. Krishan Coleman had 14. Then you have 11, 6, another 9, 7. This team is really good at spreading the ball around and scoring as a team.
Talking about scoring, dishing it down low. Aaliyah Chavez scores, gets the first basket of the night. Monterey has the 2-1 lead. Great fight down low by Kelly Moore to keep that ball alive. Chavez kind of lost it there in the traffic, but Moore was the one that poked it back out to Cole, and Cole found her down low.
Well, and that's been Kelly Moore's mantra all year. Just be aggressive at the rebound point.
The fadeaway in front of Kelly Moore is Zoe McClellan. She gets her first points of the contest. It's now 3-2. Chavez going one-on-one with Mims. Pulling up for the deep shot off the back iron. Rebound, Plainsmen. It's gonna be a foul on the floor. Getting credit for that rebound was Jalen Morrison. Morrison had herself a pretty big game last time around. And that's a big board right there, as you just heard.
Ambrosia Cole with the ball.
Oh, we got a player down on the court. And it's gonna go against Kelly Mora.
Couldn't really tell what happened right there. I was too focused on trying to see what Ambrosia Cole was gonna dial up right there.
Absolutely, and I just looked, I was filling out my stat sheet and looked down and there was Mims on the floor. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe. It's a great place to get to watch the games as well as battling down low, and getting the tough shot to go was Emily Jones. She had two Lady Plainsmen dripped all over her there, and she finished strong.
Well, and I love the way that she just fought through that double team. That's what you're going to have to do whenever you're playing in the paint.
Talking about fighting down low in the paint, Kelly Mora is good for 2. Both of these teams love quick transition baskets, and you saw one there. That's Krishan Coleman getting on the board.
Man, this is so
Timberview has 4 players with points in the scoreboard. A 3-ball, air ball. Mora with the board. Too strong. She gets it again. Yes, ma'am. Kelly Mora puts it back in.
This game is so fast-paced, I don't know if I could keep up.
It is really quick, and that's, you know, if you're a fan of basketball and you're a fan of up-tempo, this is the game for you tonight.
For sure.
It's going to be a game of who plays the better defense, who has the grit, who gets the balls off the board. Here's a 3-ball. And it's Aaliyah Chavez coming away with it. She's looking down the court, dishes it all to the opposite corner. Ambrosia Cole loses it. It's going to go out of bounds.
It was a great pass there by Aaliyah Chavez. She found the open man, but unfortunately, Ambrosia Cole couldn't hang on to the ball.
Ari Johnson checking in the game for Heaven Lamone. Ari Johnson had herself a great game in the last round of the playoffs. Kay Ward, how many points she have?
15.
She had 15. She went down in the overtime with a knee-to-knee contact. The training staff for Monterey told me she was doing what she needed to do to be able to be here today, and he was thoroughly impressed with the freshman, and that's an impressive feed down low. Zoe McClellan has 4 points.
Man, I love the way that both teams are attacking the paint right now. Kelly Mora, Zoe McClellan, and Emily Jones, all 3 of them are just really pounding the paint.
3-ball for Chavez. You know it. Big points there. She's at 5. Driving down to the paint. Ari Johnson there battling, and it's going to be Ambrosia Cole coming away with it.
And the block by Ari Johnson is really what is setting this transition right now.
Oh, Ari Johnson down low with the left hand. Johnson, the freshman, been stepping up big in the big moments, as well as Ambrosia Cole.
And now Monterey has their first lead of the game with an 11-9 lead.
All right, here the defensive chance, and the fans on their feet directly behind us. Going to the left hand and blocked. Morrison there rejecting that one away. One of the big stars for them is Brooklyn Terry. It's number 4. Cole with a little stutter step shot. No good.
Well, and Brooklyn Terry had 9 points last game. Like I said, this team is so good at spraying the rock around and getting points at all different angles.
There's Terry with the 3-ball. Ambrosia Cole tried to grab it. It slipped out of her hands. And Timberview is going to have the ball here. See Chavez talking to Ambrosia Cole.
Well, and that's just a little pickup moment right there. You want to make sure that your teammate is feeling all right. You know, that's her second ball that's just slipped right out of her hands. She's probably not having a lot of confidence right now.
Great dish down low. That is Zoe McClellan. She's at 6 points. They continued to feed her down in the paint. You see a little press here by Mansfield Timberview. Foul on the play. Ooh, and Coach Kit Martin didn't like that right there.
No, she did not.
Foul's going to go against Krishan Coleman. It's going to be her first foul. It's the first ever meeting between these 2 programs. And this is a big one, that's for sure. You see here on the instant replay, losing control. So we're back underway. Here's Ambrosia Cole, stutter stepping, getting blocked, but off the hands of the defender. Great job by Emily Jones getting her hand up and denying that there, but losing control. And you saw it on her face there, Carson. She knew she had a chance to get it back in transition like they like.
Oh, and that's obviously exactly what they wanted to do.
Fade away from Mora. That's a great post move, just didn't fall for her. And back comes Mansfield Timberview, the Lady Wolves. Trying to take the lead here. It's knotted up at 11. Driving and floating, not getting that one to go. Mora with the board. Morrison leading the way in this transition. Getting it to Chavez, losing control, and it's a turnover.
Well, and this game's going exactly how we planned for it to. Very fast-paced.
Terry kissing it off the glass. That's her first 2 points. Brooklyn Terry, she has some height on her, and that's something you need to know. This Mansfield Timberview team, they have a lot of height to them. They can go up and get the boards, and they have long arms, and they can steal the balls away.
Well, that's going to help them in the 3-point shot and in the 2-point shot, because whenever you're shooting threes, it really doesn't matter how big you are.
Chavez coming up short there. Finish your thought, Carson.
But when you're down in the post, then that's whenever your size really plays a factor.
Emily Jones knocking that three-pointer down, 16-11. Jones with 5 points. See Coach Kit Martin over there calling out the plays. She's done a phenomenal job at Mansfield Timberview since she's gotten there. They're 35-3, 16-0 in district play this year. Ranked second in the state behind only one team, and that was Monterey. Mora putting it back up. She's gonna go to the line for the and one.
And you love the way that she just gets up in the air, gets that rebound, and gets an easy putback. And on top of that, she got a foul.
Absolutely, she's had 6 points. She's gonna go to the line to see if she can make it 7. Talking about Coach Martin, since we have this little time right here, Coach Kit Martin is the definition of a winner. She has his team deep in the playoffs really on a regular basis. In fact, in 2022, Coach Martin won her 700th game as a head coach. She also won the 2019 World Sporting Goods WBCA High School National Coach of the Year. Mora puts that one in. She's now at 7. Slowing things down, but trying to get it back into the paint, and they do. Too strong, rebound, Ari Johnson. They need her to have a big night tonight getting those boards.
Well, and she had a big night last game. She just needs to keep it up.
Aaliyah Chavez spinning and getting it to go. She's at 7. Oh, they got to get back on defense, though. They do. A shot, and it's going to be an air ball. Timberview comes up with the rebound. Another rebound. Ari Johnson battling. It's going to be a jump ball.
And a hard fall.
Absolutely.
Right there for number 11.
It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go with Monterey. You love the fight in these teams. There's going to be a timeout on the floor. We're knotted up at 16. Carson, this has been everything we thought it was going to be, right? Up and down, back and forth, two teams equally going at each other, and I think we're in store for another fun one tonight.
Oh, I guarantee you we are.
Here's the instant replay of Aaliyah Chavez doing that fancy spin move and finishing off the cup. You see why she's the #1 point guard in the class of 2025.
Of course, and we knew that she was going to have a great year this year, like I said earlier, and she's definitely lived up to that standard, and I guarantee you she's going to have an even better year and want to capitalize it next year.
Absolutely, but the time is now for this Monterey team. They got a lot of seniors on this team. The depth at this Monterey team is really their seniors, right, and their core leadership. Kelly Mora, Heaven Lamone, Madeline Campos, and even though she's not a senior, right, she's a junior with a lot of experience. Jalen Morrison, Mackenzie Begay, and a lot of these different seniors are the core. And so the time is now for Monterey.
Of course, and it's their mentorship that's really going to lead this Monterey team as deep as they can go.
So here we go. Chavez doing some fancy footwork there. Looking to try to find a seam. Ooh, almost a travel, and she will travel. She lost it for a split second and took one too many stutter steps there.
Yeah, and it's just, I think whenever you're trying to focus on doing all those ball handling moves, you start to lose focus of how many dribbles you're taking, and if you even lose the ball.
Yeah, and then I think the ball was slightly tipped right there, and that's what caused her to do that right there. So again, knotted up at 16, a minute to go. Mora there on top of the defense. Zoe McClellan trying to go back to what she's done so often today, is trying to kiss it off the glass, but the hand in the face by Mora limited her to be able to do what she wanted to do. Three ball by Chavez.
Bang!
There it is. Aaliyah Chavez with 10 points here in the first quarter.
And she is off to a hot start. That's exactly what Monterey wanted against this Timberview team.
Absolutely. Blocked down low by Ari Johnson. Johnson getting the hand in the face and caused that disruption. Let's see if Monterey can expand on this to go. 26 seconds here in the first quarter. Chavez back to the Sutter step. Her foot looks fine. Down low to Ari Johnson. And it goes.
What a pass.
Ari Johnson, 4 points now.
What a pass by Aaliyah Chavez right there. Just finding the open man in the paint.
The elbow jumper. Strong, a little short there, and it's a rebound by Morrison. Three, trying to hit before the buzzer. It doesn't go, but Monterey's going to end the first quarter on a 5-0 run to take a 21-16 lead. Carson, this is so fun. And we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more from Yeager Coliseum here in Wichita Falls. This is the Region 1 5A semifinals. All right, the Lady Plainsmen, Carson, were pretty eager to get back out there. And if you look at their faces, right, I'm big into body language and seeing how the team's focused. You see it on Aaliyah Chavez's face there. Their business. This is a business trip for them. They're ready to make some noise here.
Well, if they weren't already doing that all year. I mean,
absolutely.
That's exactly the mantra and the mentality of this team. They want to play aggressive, but that starts in their mindset. And they've had an aggressive mindset so far in this game.
So from the first quarter, Aaliyah Chavez with 10 points, Ari Johnson with 4, Kelly Mora with 7. Those are all your points for Monterey. McClellan with 6, and there's a 2-ball right there. Rebound, pushed out of bounds. I believe that was Heaven Limon that poked it out. Otherwise, it would have been a rebound from McClellan, and she would have put that one back in. Tip your cap to Limon for the big brain move there to tip it out.
Well, and just her trying to get the ball into her team's hands. I mean, that's something that you don't always see very often.
Blocked by Morrison. So here comes Monterey in transition. Ari Johnson leading the way. Can she finish? She'll get blocked. Great stuff there by Mansfield Timberview to get back out there and not allow Ari Johnson to get that easy basket.
Well, and that was just, I mean, like you said, great transition defense, but that was just a really tough play right there.
Here's Mora here, going one-on-one, step back from about the free throw line and rattles it home. She loves to use the backboard in those moments, and it pays off. She's at 9. Of course, she's the Texas Tech signee, and I know Krista Gerlich loves seeing her continue to step up in these big games.
Well, that was just a really good move right there by her.
So Timberview really in a slump right now. Monterey on a 7-0 run since we were knotted up at 16.
All right.
Here's Terry trying to get the floater. She does. Brooklyn Terry with 4 now.
Well, and the way that Monterey has been able to go on that 7-0 run is by their toughness in the paint. They've been able to get some rebounds, and they've been able to finish the points in the paint, just as you saw there by Ari Johnson.
Absolutely, Johnson at 6. And it was right as you chalked it up right there, Carson, right? It's the points in the paint that have been the big difference here for both teams.
Well, and they must have seen something on film, both of these teams, because they're both attacking the paint. Not a lot of three-pointers attempted thus far.
And there's Brooklyn Terry there getting it for 2. She's at 6. A lot of these teams like to slash towards the basket. And like you like to say, Carson, take high percentage shots.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to take bad looks if they're not there.
And it's going to be, it's going to go against Ari Johnson right there. Limon tried to take that baseline jumper. Johnson tried to get it. I believe it was an over-the-back call. I want to thank everybody for tuning in again on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. This game is being presented by Lubbock ISD TV. We've got students on all of our cameras. And Carson, of course, a student at Lubbock Coronado. He's a junior, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in.
I'd just like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity, Mr. Ward.
It's an honor to have you on here, man. Turnover here, leading to hopefully another fast break bucket. Dishing it over to Mora for the 3-ball. Off the side of the iron, Morrison battling for it, flies out of bounds, and it's taken away by Mansfield Timberview.
I just love the passing that Monterey did right there.
Great stuff there by Heaven Limon, denying her the lane to the basket and making them have to kick it out. Here's the 3. No. And there's going to be a foul in the play. It's going to go against Aaliyah Chavez.
Well, and that's something that you mentioned earlier was Monterey staying out of foul trouble. Right now I have them with 4 total fouls.
Yeah, as long as they don't start stacking a lot of them here in the first half, 4 is okay.
Yeah.
A 3-ball for Mansfield Timberview. Just a little short. Rebound goes to Aaliyah Chavez. She's on pace for a double-double. She seems to be under the basket getting a lot of rebounds.
Well, and we knew after last game, we knew she was not accepting the points that she had in the first 4 quarters. She knows that her aggressiveness is really what's going to be the difference in this game.
She's going to go to the line to shoot 2 here. Foul's going to go against Zanaya Wilkerson. No, excuse me. That's Monterey's player, Zanaya Wilkerson. Cameron Wilson. So here's Chavez going to the line for the first time today. Knocks down the first one. She's at 11. See here on the instant replay, her driving, and you see all the Mansfield Timberview players crashing to her. But it's the way she shoots, right? She doesn't lean forward when she shoots. She plants her feet and goes vertical up and down, causing the Mansfield Timberview players to lean forward, and that's how she gets those fouls.
Well, and that's exactly what you're saying, that she uses the other team's momentum against them. You don't see that very often. Good.
So here's Chavez again. Going behind her back, step back, Jimmy Jack for three.
Almost.
Almost there. Man, I would have enjoyed your bang there if it was able to happen.
If it was there, I would have taken it.
Back in transition and getting fouled. It's going to go against Kelly Mora. That's her second foul. Great drive there by Krishan Coleman. See Coach Jill Schneider, she's in her 25th season, and she's had a great year this year with this team. They have a 91% winning percentage. They're 31-3. They went 11-1 in district. Of course, that one loss in district was to Lubbock Cooper. Lubbock Cooper plays after this game against Colleyville Heritage.
Well, and I think if you're, Coach Jill Schneider, I just went blank on her name. I'm sorry about that.
It happens.
If you're Coach Jill Schneider, I think you're fine with Kelly Moore having 2 fouls in only 2 quarters of play, and you're already halfway through the second quarter. As long as those, like you said earlier, don't start to stack up,
absolutely,
then they'll be good to go.
Second one goes for Coleman. It's now 27-21. Monterey on top. Here's Chavez. They're looking to press her a little bit more. She loses control, fighting for it on the floor, and it's the Lady Wolves that come away with it. Here's Brooklyn Terry on Morrison, driving and blocked. Couldn't tell who got their hand on it. Was it Morrison or Ari Johnson? But either way, it was deflected, and it's going to stay with Mansfield Timberview.
And you just love the aggressiveness on defense that this Monterey team is really playing with.
Absolutely. Terry for three, short. Morrison gets the rebound. She's been a force here tonight. Here's Chavez. You see them putting 2 players on her.
When they have to.
Lamone for three. Off the iron. It's going to go to the other way. It's going to go against Ari Johnson.
Well, with Aaliyah Chavez already having 10 points in the first quarter, they already had a sense of how she was going to be playing in the rest of the game. So they're really starting to isolate her, starting to double team her, just like Amarillo did last week.
Absolutely. Chavez with 12 points right now through 2 quarters. See players subbing in after maybe a 30-second breather right there. Kelly Moore comes back in for Ari Johnson. That couldn't have been more than 30 seconds for Kelly.
No, I agree. She probably just needed a little bit of water, and she was right back out ready to go.
Absolutely. And in these big games, especially for her as a senior, it's going to be hard for Coach Schneider to take her off the court, because Kelly's going to give her everything she's got.
Of course.
The board goes to Mansfield Timberview, and speak of Kelly, she gets the block.
And she didn't even jump. She just stuck her hands up, making sure she didn't foul.
Absolutely. So Chavez gets it to Ambrosia Cole. That's somebody that we want to see get some shots up, right? She was red hot. Morrison for a deep 2. No good. And it's going to go back to Mansfield Timberview. And here's some of the fans on top of us. Great crowd on hand for this regional semifinal here in Wichita Falls, Ryder. It's on both sides of us, and these fans are really engaging into this, Carson.
Oh, of course. I even see a big head of Heaven Lamone, I'm pretty sure it is, or maybe Madeline Campos. Right behind us. It's there. They're not raising it. It's just sitting in front of them.
Absolutely. I see what you're saying. It's like one of those cardboard cutouts of them.
Yep.
That's going to go the other way. See the team slowly making their way back to the other side. Big focus for Monterey tonight, I think. They average 14 assists, 10 steals, but 10 turnovers a game. Mansfield is going to be trying to add to that total tonight, and so you got to make sure you limit those.
Of course.
Here's Ambrosia Cole. Shooting it. A little too strong. Lamone battling for it, and it's Moore that comes away with it. Kelly Mora kisses it off the glass. She's at 11.
It's just the offensive and defensive rebounds for Mora that are really setting the tone for her play today.
Absolutely. She gets the rebound there. She's been a huge factor in this game. The big-time players show up in the big-time moments, and there's one of them right there, Aaliyah Chavez. She's at 14.
Just a great drive and great physicality right there by Aaliyah Chavez.
The three-pointer too strong. Mansfield comes away with it. Great pump and drive, and a great finish there. I believe that was, thought that was Sky Fields, but it was Krishan Coleman there. She's at 5. Great dish down low, and a great pause and finish at the bucket. Kevin Lamone with her first basket of today.
And just the way that she slithered behind the defense is really what drove her to find that open look.
I think that was a great way to describe it, as the ball goes kind of close to her trunk over there, slithering through the defense and waiting for her moment there. Great stuff by Kay Ward. You see it here on the instant replay. And that's something that's often overlooked, right? You see the stats of 31 points per game by Chavez, but it's her court vision and her high basketball IQ to see the other player cutting towards the cup and allowing her to get that shot.
Oh, just like you said, it's just the vision. The vision by Aaliyah Chavez, that's probably one of her best assets, maybe besides her shooting ability.
That shot too strong by Terry. The putback is good. Kaya Smith gets on the board for the first time today.
And they want to see a big game from her. Last game, she only had 4 points, but they want to see her be more productive and get more looks.
Lady Plainsmen up by 8 here in the second quarter. Can they extend it to double digits? Dishing it down to Kelly Mora, and they do.
Yes, they can.
Kelly Mora with 6 points in this quarter. She's at 13, and she's being a force down low, not allowing that shot to get up, and it's going to go the other way. Here's Ambrosia Cole trying to take it coast to coast. She shoots it. She's going to go to the line for 2. Ambrosia Cole showing her speed and her grittiness to take it the other way, battle against multiple defenders, and she's going to toe the line for her first time today.
Well, and that fast break wouldn't have happened if it wasn't, like you just said, for Kelly Moore's presence in the paint. She's been a presence offensively and defensively, and she's going to have to keep that up all game long if she wants to have success, if her team wants to have success.
Right. 15-6, the current run right now for Monterey over the Lady Wolves from Mansfield Timberview. Monterey came out guns a-blazing in that first quarter as well, and they're continuing to see more success here in the second. This is a business trip.
I couldn't describe it any better, Mr. Ward. You're exactly right. This is a business trip. Both these teams are ready to be here. They're playing with everything they got right now.
Mansfield Timberview pretty much a regular at the state tournament. Morrison denying that, but it was a last tip-off of Zoe McClellan. And so the ball is going to go with the Lady Plainsmen. Just see Coach Snyder. She's getting the best out of her team here today.
Oh, and that's exactly what she wanted. She might not have been pleased with how the first 4 quarters of the last game went, but nonetheless, they got the win. But I guarantee you, she emphasized staying hot, getting hot and staying hot during this game.
Absolutely. Both of these teams take great pride in their defense. Monterey averages 79 points per game, while Mansfield Timberview averages 61 per game. Here's Cole here. 1 minute to go here in the first half in the regional semifinals for Class 5A Region 1. Dishing it down low to Mora. That's a great look right there. I'm a big fan of working down on the inside, feeding the hot hand, and that's been Mora today.
Well, and you even see that in a lot of men's college basketball games where they just start feeding it down low, whether it be in a lob pass like that or a bounce pass.
And there's Mora again, getting the roll. Kelly Mora. She is having herself a day, and there's a turnover. Chavez for 3.
Bang!
There it is. Aaliyah Chavez, 17 points here in the first half.
With her third 3 of the day.
Absolutely. Mansfield Timberview looking for some answers here, and if they're going to come up with one, it needs to happen now. Brooklyn Terry driving. Ooh, and Chavez is down. Heaven Lamone is grabbing her face. Oh, that's not good right there. Got blood coming out of her nose. Man, she must have gotten popped pretty good. And, you know, that shows the physicality in this game here, Carson, right? Both of these teams are battling and willing to put themselves on the line to be able to capture the victory here today.
Well, and that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to display your toughness and your strength to be able to move on to the next round. I hate saying it, but each sport, every sport that you play, there's going to be toughness, there's going to be injuries, and I hate saying it, but injuries are just a part of sports, and unfortunately, that's how it always is.
See there on that instant replay, you see why the fans got on their feet. The players and you see him coming out here on the court here as they try to clean up some of the blood on the court. They're putting gloves on, taking all the precautions. See some of the teammates consoling Heaven Lamone over there as her nose is bleeding here. Here's another look at what exactly happened right here. It was a drive, and Brooklyn Terry got her with that elbow there as she was driving to the paint. That was elbow to nose, and from previous experience, Carson, that does not feel good.
No, it does not. Sometimes whenever the elbow hits you just right, it feels like the elbow is the hardest bone in the body.
It's not funny, is it?
No, it's not. It's not funny.
Even though it's right next to the funny bone. So we're back underway. 25.8 seconds to go here in the first half. They were trying to get on, and great pass there by Chavez to Mora. Back to Chavez. See her directing traffic. 13 seconds to go, driving, kicking it down low, somehow coming back up and away with it. And it looks like Chavez is going to go to the line here.
Again, I can't emphasize it enough. It's just her physicality in the paint. Like, it's as simple as that. She will not quit when she gets in the paint, and that's one of the things I love about her game.
She rattles home the first one. I think we'll all be honest with each other, right? The performance in the first 4 quarters of the game last week for Aaliyah is not what she's used to, right? She ended the game with 22 points, but she's come out red hot here today. She's on path for more than what her normal is, and her normal is 31.
Well, and that's exactly what Monterey needs out of her. They know how tough this game is going to be, and they know that she's going to have to be on at all times.
Mackenzie Begay checking in right now for Kelly Mora. Begay is a senior and has been a big part of this program for quite some time. Excited to see her check in here with 8 seconds to go. Driving down to the paint, and that's going to be a foul against Morrison. She had her arms up, but she was right there, made contact, and they're going to go to the line for 2.
Yep, and when you have your arms up, that's more of a symbol of like, I'm trying not to foul, but you know, sometimes you just can't escape it.
Well, and when you jump up and you're at an angle like that,
yeah.
It wasn't a vertical jump. So here's the free throw, it's good. Rashawn Coleman gets that first one to go. I believe she is at 6 points now.
That's what I have.
All right, here's the second opportunity, 2.6 to go. It's one of those things, you gotta you have enough time to maybe to the half-court line and heave it, see what kind of shot you can get with 2.6. You gotta think it's gonna be with either number 10 or number 2 here down the stretch.
Oh, of course, I mean, those are your 2 best shooters as of last week.
All right, 1 second to go, she's gonna have to shoot it. She gets it off one hand, it was too late, but it goes off the board. And that's gonna do it for the first half. You see the score. It has been a performance for the Monterey Lady Plainsmen. 44-27 in the battle versus number 1 and number 2. Carson, thoughts on the first half?
I love how aggressive each team's playing. They're playing fast, they're playing furious, they're playing angry. And I can't emphasize enough how much I love it.
The Lady Plainsmen outscored the Lady Wolves 23-11 in that second quarter and outscored them by 7 in the first quarter. So when we come back, we'll have more from the Yeager Coliseum here in Wichita Falls, Texas. You're watching the Region 1-5A semifinals presented by Lubbock ISD TV.
When does it have kinetic energy? Who can add to what she said? When
Project Lead the Way is what PLTW means, and so we do it here at Honey as an extra program for our gifted and talented students, 1st grade through 5th grade. It's very student driven. We kind of give them a little bit of guidance, but they totally dive into it and take it on their own. So they really dig into the science behind it and really get to do a lot of hands-on things.
Today we're here and we built these cars earlier in the year and we're like testing kinetic and potential energy.
We made our own ramp out of cardboard and we measure different heights that we drop the car off of, and then we measure how far it goes.
So we really just give them some science concepts and give them a little bit of direction, and they take it and they totally run with it, and what they create just amazes us every time.
I think it's fun to try these hands-on experiences to learn more. and you actually get to have it happen in front of you. You don't just learn it out of a book.
I love math beyond how I can explain, and I love having the answers. And I really find engineering and all stuff to do with that interesting.
I like to be part of it because it gives you time to spend time with other grades and get to know them and have fun and build something that sometimes you don't get to do in classes.
When we made our groups, we thought we don't want them just to spend time with who they see all day long. We want them to be able to learn from others, so our youngers can learn from our olders, but our olders can learn from our youngers too. Especially within our gifted and talented program, their brains just are constantly going at a different level, and it's really cool to see the collaboration and the conversations between the first graders and the fifth graders.
They know a lot of fun facts, actually.
It makes me even smarter, even though my mom's a teacher.
Every kid that we have here at Honey deserves to be able to reach their full potential. And so if that means some enrichment outside of the classroom, then that's what we need to provide them. Because if they're mastering everything, then let's push them further. Let's see what their true potential is. And this program really does that for all of them.
Ready to open up their mics, Caleb? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take it, open the mics, and go.
The history of LISD TV sport starts back in late 90s, and we had the idea of starting a sports program where we could highlight our student athletes as well as train our high school students in how to do sporting production. When we first started, obviously it was pretty rudimentary. We didn't have the replay, we didn't have the graphics. We had some cameras that weren't really synced up together, where the colors were off and things like that. But over the 20+ years, we've really progressed into, one of the top producers of high school sports.
So not only have we been able to expand with technology with our truck now, but we've also been able to expand our offerings to students and give them greater opportunities. And that's so awesome to see as a teacher. So I love the bus and I miss the bus, but it's been so awesome to see the kids getting to work with newer technology. Wow. And honestly, the kids get to do more positions.
Our truck was built on the basis of an ESPN truck. A lot of us were, in the original design, had worked in an ESPN truck, so we had an isolated audio booth. We had areas where there'd be the replays, the graphics, the producer-director area, all the cameras and things like that. So we wanted to set it up just like an ESPN truck.
So the way that the professional world works with production trucks, you're not working with the same crew on a consistent basis. It's a completely new truck most of the time, it's a completely new crew. And so you aren't going to have the familiarity that you can working with your peers in school. So they really need to kind of learn how to communicate with multiple people. So you really just need to know your strengths and your weaknesses and find others that you're going to be on that production truck with to really help you grow your knowledge and grow your experience so that you can then have a full, well-rounded knowledge of the entire process.
Caleb, there's trailing music on this.
Everybody says
okay.
It's all about footwork, and in that particular moment, Kelly came out on top. Another 3 for Monterey this time.
I can teach students the vocabulary words in class. I can teach them what to pan, tilt, whatever the case may be. I can teach them all that stuff. I can give them a book and have them read. But for me, when they get their hands on equipment and then when they actually practice those vocabulary words that we've seen, that's when the real learning sinks in.
When kids leave our program after they graduate, I want them to be able to walk out and get a job. That's the biggest thing. We're teaching them hands-on, actual real-world job skills. And so whether they want to go to college or not, whatever the path they choose, I want them to leave here with plenty of experience and knowledge that they can walk out and they could work for ESPN as an 18, 19-year-old if they wanted to. They're going to leave here, they're going to be a step above everyone else in the country that's their age.
Just off the top of my head, maybe 50+ students that I know have worked in the industry at some point. So whether that's going and working as somebody pulling cable, rolling cable, running camera, or even some of our more recent students who are actually directors of now production in sporting events and things like that. So it's really pretty awesome to be able to see the fruits of our labor, because a lot of times as educators, we plant the seeds and we never really get to see what produces it. In our industry, we get the visual. We actually get to see the fruits of our labor on TV.
We're averaging 30.8 points per game. So you have number 41.
If you are a high school student or even younger than that, and you want to get involved with Lubbock ISD TV, we would love to have you. We've got plenty of opportunities, and it's so much fun. Not only will it prepare you to go to work, we can prepare you to get scholarships, but we have fun while we're doing it.
If you're interested in being part of the sports production, contact your counselor. If you're a parent or if you're a student that is interested in being in sports production, this is the absolute best place to start.
Welcome back out to the Yeager Coliseum, the site of the Region 1 5A, what is it, semifinals. Come on now. You saw the truck, though, moments ago. We drove here at 6 a.m. this morning to get set up for this broadcast, and so we thank everybody for tuning in and watching this broadcast presented by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV. 44-27, the current score here, and Monterey really shined in that first half. Simply stated, they shined. The ball was going through the hoop. They were locking down on the defensive end, but a big key to me was the boards, and they were having success there.
Oh, of course. They got a lot of boards, and they got even more points, and that's what they really struggled in the first 4 quarters of last game with. They weren't really getting a lot of good looks. They weren't getting a lot of buckets. But they've really turned that around this game, and that's really helped them to build the lead that they have right now. Absolutely.
So before the game started today, there was an interview with our very own Aaliyah Chavez, the superstar point guard for Monterey. Let's check out some of that interview with the Wichita Falls athletic director. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
I am with Aaliyah Chavez, Lubbock Monterey Lady Plainsmen. Welcome to the second year in a row you've been in Wichita Falls for the regional tournament. Tell us, what does the team look forward to tonight?
I think the team just looks forward to playing. Like, they're ready to get this win. That's what we came in here to do, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Talk about your season so far. You guys have had a remarkable year. You're coming off a huge game against Amarillo. Just tell us the overall, how the season has gone and what you guys have enjoyed the most about it.
Oh, this season's just going good. I just, it's a team that you wouldn't understand. I played with some of these girls since 2nd grade, and it's just a remarkable team. It's crazy. We're sisters, and we just act like it on and off the court. All
right, so we're going to send this back to your high school to show. What do you want to say to your high school friends?
I don't know. You caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
All right, hey, you're going to do great tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, great interview there with superstar Aaliyah Chavez. Speaking of her, what a performance in the first half. She had 19 points, Kelly Morrow with 15 points, and then a few others you see here on the highlights. So here's some of the big highlights. That was Brooklyn Terry there for Mansfield Timberview, missing the shot and getting the putback. You know, the offensive rebounds, being in the right place at the right time has led to some of the points, but Chavez getting a big 3 ball there, and another one, as DJ Khalid says, right? Sorry, I know the kids love that. Morrow, though, pivotal in the paint, getting the kiss off of the glass. She did a great job. You see the feed down low, getting another friendly roll, getting the ball to her down low in the paint like that has been really key, and they've really been exposing Mansfield Timberview there.
Well, and I think that's really what's making Monterey so successful today is the rebounds and the putbacks after offensive rebounds. And, I mean, ultimately, rebounds in general, the defensive rebounds leading to transition points and even just regular transitions. Then you have the offensive rebounds that are leading to putbacks for Kelly Morrow. She has been dominant in the first half, and I can't wait to see what she does in the second half.
You know, I went to the practice for Monterey before the Amarillo contest. Coach Schneider harped on it. Don't get back on the defensive transition yet. Crash the boards. Go get that ball so that you can get that easy basket there. Don't just drop back automatically into defense, and you're seeing it pay off for her team. All right, let's do this again, huh? We're in the second half, 44-27, and we're back underway.
What a move by Ambrosia Cole right there.
Yeah, Cole trying to dish Dari Johnson. Kelly Morris smiling as she comes to get that ball right here.
That ball was coming right for me, too.
It was. Thought I had your name all over it. Chavez going step back, out to the baseline, stolen away by Terry. She's looking for some help. She's going to go one-on-one. Right hand, kissing it off the glass for 2. Brooklyn Terry.
Just a great finish right there by Brooklyn Terry. You love to see it, her going one-on-one against Kelly Morrow.
She's at 8 points now here in this game. Ambrosia Cole spinning, getting some separation. A step back, Jimmy Jack, and rattles it home. Ambrosia Cole getting her first field goal. She's at 4. Her other 2 points come from the charity stripe.
Well, and you just love the way that she just worked the defender right there with a step back as well.
Stolen away by Chavez. Trying to battle against the defender, fading away. Ambrosia Cole trying to get the rebound, but it's Mansfield Timberview that comes away with it. I believe that was McClellan. Here's Terry, kicking it out. A 3 ball, no good. Rebound, Terry. Great pause there to let the defender get up over in the air, and she's gonna put it in for 2.
That's just a great move, just her pivoting and working inside the defender to really get up and under the rim to finish it.
Absolutely. Mora slowing some things down, communicating with her team. Here she is with her left hand, trying to dish it down low to Morrison, but stolen away and re-stolen. Morrison, the left-handed 3, good! Jalen Morrison gets her first basket of the day. She's out at 3.
Can I say it?
Yep.
Bang!
That's some good stuff there. You've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for it. I think I got a little bang happy in the last game.
Absolutely, but hey, that's all right. We were having a blast in 5 overtimes.
Yeah,
as part of it, the energy was there. We're having fun.
Yeah, I had to match my energy with the fans' energy, you know?
Absolutely. Ambrosia Cole, great. Made her defender there do a 360 dance.
It just amazes me how well someone's ball handling skills can be. Like, I don't think I could ever match that skill level.
Absolutely, no, me either. And it's small hands is what it is for me.
I could say the same thing for myself.
Morrison pump and driving, a 15-footer, no good. Rebound McClellan. Here comes Timberview on the opposite end. A wide open 3 ball, no, but a rebound by Timberview. Defense there by Chavez. She tries to save it, and she's gonna go out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Lady Wolves, but you love the effort down low by Aaliyah Chavez to not allow the basket and to force them to come up with something here.
Well, and even though she's a little bit smaller than that mismatch right there, she still tried to block that ball, and she honestly did enough to upset the shot.
Terry with a little step back of her own. I think that was, our foot was on the line, so I'm gonna go with that being a 2.
That's just a great move. I mean, you really can't teach that. That's more just practicing in your backyard, in your driveway, and just practicing that move over and over and over again.
Chavez, a floater, too strong. Mansfield Timberview made some adjustments. They're down by 16 here. Driving with that right hand, too strong. More there, trying to get a block, and they put it back in. Brooklyn Terry has gotten red hot here in this quarter.
I want to say that's her 8th point in this quarter.
Ambrosia Cole trying to slow things down, and it's stolen away. Timberview, this is what they like to do. The ball's on the floor. They're gonna have to get it, and it goes out of bounds. Trying to make that play was Emily Jones. She hasn't scored since the first quarter. Lost control of it, and it's gonna be a turnover. See it here on the instant replay. It just goes out of bounds on her right there. She lays it out on the line, trying to keep it in bounds. But the Lady Plainsmen have the ball here. Dishing it down low to Mora. Back to Ari Johnson. That's beautiful.
And that's what Monterey needs to start being able to do now. They did that very successfully in the first half. They just need to be able to execute that again and not shy away from that game plan here in the second half.
I think that foul is going to go against Aaliyah Chavez. It is. That's her second foul. She's got her hand on, it was a hand-on-hand thing right there. So it goes against Chavez. Here's Timberview. Trying to move the ball around is the Lady Wolves, spinning, trying to find an open player, and they do.
That was some good passing right there, trying to go in like a little triangle formation, trying to find an open man that a defender is not on.
Driving with the left hand and finishing strong. Krishan Coleman went one-on-one with Ari Johnson and one with her left hand. Here's Morrison in transition, trying to dish it back to Johnson. Johnson saves it. Brosia Cole for 3.
Bang!
And Brosia Cole knocks down her first triple of the afternoon. She's at 7. On the opposite end is Coleman. She does it again. Krishan Coleman with the left hand. That's a great play right there by Coleman. Chavez on the other end. Not able to finish, but it's going to go off the hands of a Mansfield Timberview player, and will stay with the Lady Plainsmen. Yeah, Coleman for Mansfield Timberview, that's her off-ball hand, and that is elite. If you're able to go with her off-ball hand to the cup like she's been able to, is pretty impressive.
Oh, of course. I mean, even just the hand-eye coordination alone with your offhand, that's hard enough. But whenever you're really able to manipulate the ball with your offhand and just, I can't even say it again, manipulate that ball into the hoop, it doesn't get much better than that.
So what's next for either one of these teams? For whoever wins tonight, they will play tomorrow at noon here at Yeager Coliseum. The winner will play against either Lubbock Cooper or Colleyville Heritage. The Lady Pirates currently ranked 6th in the state. Of course, the winner of that game will advance to the state tournament. Of course, if Monterey is able to advance, it would be the 4th time this year that they would have played Lubbock Cooper. They lost to the Lady Plainsmen, or the Lady Pirates, the first time they played, and then they followed up with 2 wins. Now, in that loss, they were missing one key player. That key player was Aaliyah Chavez. And so, I would be anxious to see if Monterey's able to advance, who they would play. But either way, it's going to be a tough test.
Well, and even with them losing Aaliyah Chavez in that game against Cooper, they still were able to keep it in a manageable game.
Right. Up by 15 right now is the Lady Plainsmen here with 3:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. You've got to keep the gas pedal down, though. You got to be thinking about that kind of stuff right now. You got to be living in the moment. The moment is the 2nd-ranked team in the state, Mansfield Timberview, and so you got to keep your gas pedal down if you're Monterey.
Well, you have to. I mean, this Mansfield team is not out of it yet.
Absolutely not.
We're only halfway through the 3rd quarter. Anything can happen in this next 12 minutes of play.
Absolutely, and they're a younger team, but they're a team with tons of experience. Their sophomores and juniors have been on varsity since they were freshmen. Mora with a fadeaway, no. Johnson battling down low, she gets it to go. Ari Johnson with 10.
It's like I was saying earlier, the offensive rebounds are leading to more second chance points, and you love to see it.
Stolen away by Aaliyah Chavez. Fading, you know it's good. Aaliyah Chavez, she's got 21. That's her first points here in the 2nd half. The offensive board, good for McClellan. McClellan's at 8.
Well, and Aaliyah Chavez is really coming alive in this game. Like we said earlier, she was not accepting the fact that she had such little points for her liking in the first 4 quarters of last game, so she's becoming alive right now in this game.
I love the confidence by Ambrosia Cole to take that shot right there. A 3-ball for Timberview. No, Chavez tried to get the rebound, but it was too strong. It's Mansfield Timberview getting a 2nd offensive board there. Terry driving, no. Ball on the ground, and it's Ambrosia Cole that comes away with it. Trying to slow things down, got Morrison over here in the corner. Charge on the play. Charge on the play there. And so it's going to go the other way. So you got Ambrosia Cole there, and I apologize for the mispronunciation. Cole, phenomenal though, and I do apologize for that.
Well, and you can honestly see the charge coming, especially whenever I looked at that foul, or that fall. When I saw the defender fall, I was like, oh man, that's definitely gonna be a charge.
Well, you love that by the defender, willing to lay your body on the line and taking it.
Well, it's just
McClellan battling, no, Mora. That's great defense there by Mora.
Well, but charges are just something you can't teach. I mean, you can teach a situation, but it's really just your mind telling you, like I gotta take it, I gotta set up, and I gotta set, and then the charge just commits itself, you know?
Right. Planting the feet, being in the right place at the right time, being game smart to know this is my chance. So here's Timberview. Terry kind of fumbling the ball there and getting it back out. Trying to dish it down low to McClellan, they do. Too strong, Mora comes away with the board. It was nearly poked away, but Chavez has it. She's getting double teamed. Mora pumps, kicks it out, Morrison for 3. Ooh, off the iron. That would have been a big one right there. That would have put them up by 20 if she would have been able to connect there. On the opposite end, Brooklyn Terry puts it in. She's at 16.
When you love the way that she's come alive in the 2nd half already. She's been fighting in the paint. She only had 8 points in the first half, and she's matched that and even added to it in the second half.
Saw that there. Ari Johnson basically getting pushed over right there. McClellan getting it down low. Great finish there. She's at 10. Timeout on the floor. 58-45, 43.2 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and Mansfield Timberview still fighting.
And they have every reason to. This game is far from over. They have every minute, every second of this game to cut into this 13-point deficit and possibly even take the lead.
The last time the Lady Wolves were in the state tournament was back in 2020, and I believe they had a solid streak going at that point. You see Ari Johnson there, a collision right there. But before that, they were there 3 out of 4 years. Mansfield Timberview is a team that is hungry and eager to get back there again, but they're playing a team in Monterey that is had the target on their back all year. Right, they've been ranked #1, currently ranked 23rd in the nation according to Max Preps, and they're hungry and eager as well to make a name and make a statement, saying that the South Plains has some great basketball teams.
Well, and like you just said, Monterey has had a target on their back all year, but they've also been out for blood all year, and I think that really offsets that target on their back.
So here's Cole to Morrison, back to Mora. Back to Cole, the 3 ball. No good, rebound is Jones. Ari Johnson and Morrison were able to poke that away though, and they get another chance. Chavez, quick 3, no. So here's Mansfield Timberview in transition. Man, they're quick.
They are.
If there was a shot clock, they'd waste maybe 1 second on it. It's gonna be a foul against Aaliyah Chavez. Chavez at 3 fouls now.
And she's gonna have to be really careful for the rest of this game because she's, like you just said, she's at 3. You need 5 to foul out. She has to be careful. She has to control herself a little bit more than she has been, even though she's had a phenomenal game thus far.
Right, down the final stretch, it's disciplined basketball from here on out. If there needs to be a foul, it can't be #2 giving the foul. It's gonna go out of bounds off the hands of Kelly Mora, and it's gonna stay with the Lady Wolves. Mora been a really big player all year long. She averages 13 points, 10 rebounds a game. She's a walking double-double. Here's a 3 ball by Terry, no good. And that's the buzzer. 58-45, Lubbock Monterey on top of Mansfield Timberview. It is crunch time. Fourth quarter, here we go for the regional semifinals from Yeager Coliseum. We'll be back with more. This game's being presented by Lubbock ISD TV. Welcome back, 58-45 the current score. Monterey outscored in that quarter, 18-14 by the Lady Wolves. We do want to give a few shout outs though to some special people here tonight that has helped make this possible. Clay Stockton, the operation manager here, and Chad Johnson, the multimedia specialist with the communications department with Wichita Falls. We want to thank both of those great people for helping making this possible here today. 58-45 here in the fourth quarter. Carson, this is where the best need to come out. Stars need to shine because it's crunch time, now or never for either team.
I couldn't agree more. This is the point where champions are made. This is the point where you start to see the grit in teams come out. I know you don't want to wait till the last 8 minutes, but sometimes that's just how games play out, and that could very well be how this game plays out.
We saw it in the last game by Monterey. They were outscored 17-2 at one point in that third quarter against Amarillo High, but we saw them elevate their play and step up. Down low, Mora was able to deny that. Here comes Monterey. Chavez trying to get it to Ari Johnson. She finishes strong. That's a great play right there. Ari Johnson always seems to be in a great spot. Down low near the basket. 3 ball by Terry. Rips it. Brooklyn Terry. Phenomenal game, 18 points.
And she has come alive. I can't say enough. She has come alive in this second half.
Here's Cole, one-on-one. Fading away. And she's going to go to the line. I believe this is her second trip to the charity stripe for Ambrosia Cole.
That's what I have.
Here's Ambrosia Cole here. Doesn't get the first one to go. 60-48. See the Victory V's being held up by the Pom Squad, by Monterey. And the cheerleaders as well.
I was always wondering what that was. I thought it was like a Plainsmen logo or like a symbol or something.
They hold up their twos. She gets the second one to drop. Cole has 8 points today. Driving. McClellan gets blocked from the side by Chavez, and Cole's quick in transition. One-on-one with Jones, and she finishes strong. Give her 10 now.
Just a beautiful finish right there by Ambrosia Cole.
That was great transition. Chavez was looking for the ball right there, but it was a great pass leading to that great bucket by Cole. 3 ball by Jones. A high arcing one. Rebound is Mora. Chavez looking ahead, sees Cole. Cole going one-on-one. Over to the corner to Morrison. That's a 3. Bang! Big time bucket there by Jalen Morrison. She's at 6. You hear the Monterey faithful behind us getting excited. You see Coach Kit Martin talking to the officiating crew. You see the importance of this game by just the demeanor by Coach Martin there. She's coaching her team hard.
Well, and that's all you can do as a coach. You can't.
Great block. She's also trying to keep her team level-headed right here.
Oh, for sure.
Chavez spotting up from about the charity stripe. It's good. Chavez continuing to do great things. Stolen by Morrison. Back-to-back buckets. And this place is getting loud, and Monterey stretching their lead. They're up by 22.
And that's exactly what you were saying earlier about Monterey keeping the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, the gas pedal is down. Mora has a foul here. That's her 3rd foul.
And now if you're Monterey, 2 of your star players with 3 fouls, they got to be really careful for this next 5.5-ish minutes so they don't possibly foul out.
So here is McClellan. Misses that first one. She's had herself a pretty good game. She was really good and cooking really well in that first half, Carson. But the defense and the hands constantly in her face have really changed the trajectory of how she's played today.
Well, and you have to give credit to Kelly Moore. She's been the one working in the paint all game on both sides of the court. She has not given up whenever it's been her time in the paint.
And her energy level has been so consistent. She's been working. Talk about somebody that's been working. Ari Johnson. Cole tries to tip that one away, and it's stolen away by the Lady Wolves to Terry. Bobbing and weaving her way, not getting that first one to go, and it's going to stay with the Lady Wolves. Jalen Morrison trying to keep that ball alive.
And that's all you can do. I mean, effort is the most important thing in any sport, and whenever you display that time and time again, you know you're doing something right.
Blocked there by Mora. Timberview trying to look for something here. A little step back, that's a 3 ball, no good. Coming away by McClellan. Coleman for 3, good. Cameron Wilson, apologies, puts that one in for 3. She's at 4 points. Morrison, another 3-pointer opportunity, is too strong. This is really back and forth here, Carson.
It is, and we knew this was going to be the type of game it was going to be.
Absolutely. Both teams like to play the game to their tempo. Oh, and they're going to go to the line. That's an and one. Cole is on the ground.
I don't even know how she got that ball in the bucket right there.
Me either. I'd be anxious to see that. If we have an instant replay of that, I'd love to see it. But going to the line for the and one. Looks to be Krishan Coleman. And there's a timeout on the floor. Here's the instant replay of that. Magical feed down low, almost tipped away by Cole. And it looks like the back of her head hit Cole right in the face. Oh man, that's tough. Oh, I love that sign. That one's a good one. Get your popcorn ready. We're putting on a show. We're seeing that firsthand right now. Monterey leads by 17 points, 4:39 to go. Of course, the winner of today's contest will advance on to play tomorrow at noon against the winner of our next game, Colleyville Heritage or Lubbock Cooper. Of course, Colleyville Heritage, Carson, if you look at the rankings and how their season's going, they're not in the top 25 for Class 5A, so they're really making a run and playing their best basketball at the right time.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And if you wouldn't have told me that they weren't in the top 25, I would have assumed that they were. They've been playing great basketball. That's how they're in the position that they're in. And I can't wait to see what happens in their game against Lubbock Cooper.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to watch that game.
Me too.
So 70-53, 4:39 to go. Here is the and one for Coleman. No good. Johnson was able to tip that ball away. And it's Aaliyah Chavez trying to come on the other end. Cole dishing it to the other side. Morrison thought about shooting it, but drives it. Great call. Great play by Jalen Morrison. She's at 10.
That's just great discipline right there.
Terry for three. She stays hot. She has been phenomenal for their team. She's north of 20 points now. Oh, and a turnover there.
I saw the look that
oh, another three ball. Are you kidding me? Cameron Wilson now with 8 points. Coach Schneider with her hands on her hip. And the lead that was 22 at one point is now 13. This game is within reach for the Lady Wolves.
Just a quick change of events for the Lady Wolves.
Absolutely. You look at both of these coaches, they get the best out of their players. They're very well respected. They're great at their craft. And there's a reason why their team is so good.
There is. And you can't teach the discipline of your players, but man, this has just been so fun to watch.
You ready for the stat of the day, Carson?
I'm ready for it.
Mansfield, their last loss was the day after Thanksgiving. That game was against Little Elm. That was over 90 days ago. Currently, the Lady Wolves are on a 27-game winning streak. That's big time. That's hard to do.
That is big time. They're also, here's your stat of the day, 16-0 in district.
Right, yeah, no, that's how you know, they're out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right? Their school is in Arlington. That tells you it's hard to play good basketball over there, consistently win. That tells you how great this team is. They got a ton of experience, and they're not going to quit. So if you're Monterey, you got to keep going. You can't let up at all.
And that's the thing. You can't go around them. You got to go through them. And you're almost there. You got 4 minutes left of this game. You got to keep going through them. You got to keep punching them in the gut instead of trying to run around them.
See, did you see Cole? She had something up her nose, and it was from whenever she got popped in the head earlier today. By that, was it an elbow or the back of the head? I think it was the back of the head.
I think it was the back of the head.
I think that was Lamone that got the elbow, and I don't think we've seen her since the elbow.
I have not. She's still there, sitting there on the bench.
Cole driving with that right hand and backing it back out to Mora. Corner for Morrison. They're moving the ball around, wasting some time off the clock. Three ball by Jalen Morrison, too strong. That baseline is her shot, which didn't fall there. On the other end, an easy lay-in for Wilson. She's at 10, and Mansfield Timberview is on a run. Dish it to Ari Johnson. Can she end the run? No. Kicking it back out to Chavez, and they're going to reset.
Well, Monterey's trying to waste some clock right here.
Foul's going to go against Brooklyn Terry. But Terry's been phenomenal today.
Oh, I couldn't word it any better. But you can tell that Monterey's trying to slow this game down a little bit, trying to waste some of the clock. But they got to remember, we got to keep the pedal to the metal. You cannot let up, or else you're going to start getting in a much smaller deficit, as they're only winning by 11 right now when it was once 22.
Saw there on the instant replay what the foul looked like. Talking about Terry, she's at 22 points today. She's been spectacular. Chavez spotting up for three. Ooh, almost.
Just short.
Just short off the iron. Jones comes up with it and loses it. Here's Coleman dishing it to Terry. Ooh, too strong. See Mora there coming away with it, and she's going to get it to Jalen Morrison. They got to get it across the timeline, and they do.
I love the overhead passes by Kelly Mora. She just chunks it down like a quarterback to her wide receivers going down the court. I love it.
She is, and it's pinpoint accuracy too.
Every time.
Clock is the friend of Monterey right now as they're up by 11, 2:41 to go. They're going to make Mansfield Timberview foul, and that's a good call. Get them into some foul trouble. Dishing it down low. That's Jalen Morrison. She gets fouled, and I believe it was in the act of shooting, so she's going to go to the line for two.
That foul is on Emily Jones.
Yep, Jones, that's her first foul of today. Jalen Morrison about to toe the line for the first time. And there's a timeout. So we're going to take it. We'll be right back, and we'll finish out this game here at Yeager Coliseum, 72-61. You're watching this game on Lubbock ISD's YouTube, presented by Lubbock ISD TV. All right, welcome back to Yeager Coliseum. We're in Wichita Falls, home of the Region 1 5A regional tournament. Currently 72-61, Monterey on top. Jalen Morrison about to toe the line for the shot. That timeout was called by Mansfield Timberview, so each team has 2 timeouts to go with 2:34 to go. First time for Morrison to go to the line, and doesn't get that one to go.
And these shots are imperative. Like I said earlier, the deficit has slimmed down only to 11 right now. It's still a very manageable game for Timberview, but she makes her second free throw.
She does. She's at 11. Saw the foul in the play. You know, this game has been officiated really well. I'll tell you that. From the team from the North chapter. Moore gets it here. Up to Cole. Ambrosia Cole has the thing in her nose there. It's starting to stick out. I wonder if that hinders her breathing, right?
Oh, you would definitely think it does.
Off the face of Kelly Mora. It's going to stay with Monterey. It must have been tipped away there by a Timberview Lady Wolf. So Monterey continues to have the ball here. At one point in this possession, Carson, I believe I looked up, it was 2:43 to go. They still have the ball, and we're about to be under 2 minutes.
And that's
foul on the play. It's going to go against Emily Jones.
But that's imperative for Monterey because there's only 2 minutes left of this game. You got a 12-point lead. If you can find a way to melt the clock a little bit, keep the ball moving, but also take the high percentage look so you're not just wasting a possession, then that'll be ideal.
Ari Johnson cutting to the basket, loses control, and Timberview has it. Trying to get back on the other end really quick.
But now
here's a 3 ball. They're masterful at quick offense, and they knock it down. Emily Jones gets a 3 ball.
Well, and Timberview is going to have to work very fast because they know Monterey's just going to try to melt this clock. They're going to have to foul or hope that Monterey misses a shot, just like Monterey did right there. But they're going to have to work quick.
It was a great dish down low. The foul's going to go against Kelly Mora.
And she has 4 on the game. She is 1 away from fouling out.
That's something to keep an eye on. Jones brings that ball in there, and they're not going to touch it until they absolutely have to. Minute 33 to go. Monterey on top by 9. It's crunch time. Terry for 3. Rips it. She's excited, and rightfully so. Timeout on the floor.
And now, Mr. Ward, this game slimmed down to 6. I told you that this was going to hurt Monterey if they didn't take advantage of every possession, and it is.
Here's the instant replay of that 3 ball. They move quick. There's that screen by Jones to give her enough time right there, and she rips it home. According to my stats right now, Brooklyn Terry's at 25. What a night for number 4. She is not going to let her team get out of this, and now we have a 6-point ball game with 1:24 here in Wichita Falls. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Share, let everybody know that we're broadcasting this game. Like and subscribe on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. See Coach Kit Martin there. It's the first ever meeting between these two programs, and it looks like it's going to be a classic as we were coming down to the wire.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, this is the game that we expected. We didn't think it was going to be as big of a blowout as it was after the first half, but Timberview made some halftime adjustments, and they've started to cut into this lead. Now they're only down by 6. This game is very winnable for them right now with only 1:24 left to play.
Monterey was up by 17 at halftime. At one point in the third quarter, they were up by 22. Currently, you're looking at a 6-point ball game with 1:24 to go. Mansfield Timberview has turned on the gas here in the second half. Cole surveying, getting it to Ari Johnson. Great spin, great finish.
There you go.
Ari Johnson stepping up. She's at 14.
And that's exactly what Monterey has to do. They got to keep the pedal to the metal.
A 3-pointer off the iron. Johnson pokes it away. Another 3-pointer by Mansfield Timberview. No good. Jalen Morrison flying in and stealing it away from 2 Lady Wolves. Here's Cole to Chavez. Driving. Oh, what a move. Didn't fall. But Ari Johnson gets to the board and gets fouled as she tries to put it back up.
And that is on Emily Jones again. She's at 3 fouls now on the game.
She's at 3 fouls in this quarter. Timeout on the floor. It's going to be a full timeout called by, I believe, Mansfield Timberview. So we do want to promote, if Monterey is able to hold on, we will be back tomorrow for the broadcast. Of course, that game will be against the winner of Lubbock Cooper and Colleyville Heritage. It will tip off tomorrow at noon here at the Yeager Coliseum. Once again, that is if Monterey holds on, because of course we are Lubbock ISD TV. And so I told Coach Schneider, we're here as long as you're here, and we're excited to be here.
Of course, and I didn't even think that it was going to be possible for us to broadcast these crucial playoff games. But man, it has been fun, and I cannot thank Lubbock ISD and Lubbock ISD TV enough for giving the students an opportunity to experience what playoff women's basketball is really like.
Yeah, the stage keeps getting bigger, and we love it, and we're thankful for our superintendent, Dr. Kathy Rollo, our amazing school board, and of course Lubbock ISD Athletics for allowing us to do this, as well as the UIL and many other things, because we have to go through the proper channels to be able to do this. And so there's a whole lot of people we like to thank, and without them this wouldn't be possible here today. 47.8 seconds to go. Monterey on top by 8. Ari Johnson towing the line, and you feel like for a freshman, these are some pretty big free throws.
Well, and it's like you just said, these are huge free throws, like I said last game. But for last game, it was Ambrosia Cole. These are the crucial, most important free throws of your entire high school career thus far. You got to be able to execute, and I know it's a lot of pressure, but you got to be able to hit them because your team depends on it.
She made the first one. Off the back iron was no good for the second one. Morrison fighting for that one, but a foul on the play is going to go against Morrison. That was Wilson that came up with it. Wilson has had a pretty solid game for the Lady Wolf. She's got 10 points.
And I couldn't say it any better. I mean, she's already in the double digits, and you know, sometimes depending on the team you're playing, that's hard to come by.
Wilson 1 for 2 today from the free throw line. With 46 seconds to go, she makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Wilson, a pretty special player for Mansfield Timberview, averaging 10 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and she makes the second one. Currently, she is at 12 points.
Well, now you see the leads start to slim closer together again. Only up by 7 are the Plainsmen. What are you going to do to be able to not only melt the clock a little bit, but to get points in the basket.
Morrison able to get it across the line. Oh, and steps out of bounds. Coach Schneider standing over her right there, telling her it's okay. Keep fighting, keep battling.
And now this is where your defense has to step up. Only up by 7 on the Plainsmen. You got to be able to hold strong on defense. At the very most, you got to allow them, or not allow them, but you got to hope that they get a 2. You cannot let them get a 3, because then that makes it a 4-point ball game, and this ball game becomes a lot more stressful.
Stolen away by Morrison. After turning the ball over, she forces a turnover. Ari Johnson falls to the floor and is grimacing in pain. There needs to be an injury timeout. She grabbed her right knee. That was the knee that she had knee-to-knee contact with the last time around, and she is in pain.
And you hate to see that, especially 2 games in a row. You hate to see it anyways, but man, 2 games in a row on the exact same knee, you hate to see that.
You absolutely do. Here's the look at it. Her feet gets tripped up and she goes straight down on that knee. And man, you hate to see that. You see the trainer Kyle Templeton out there helping her out. And you know, he told me coming into this game that she did everything right to be able to return back to action. Of course, she was on crutches at the end of that game against Amarillo High, and needed to go to the locker room before the overtimes really even got going. And she did everything right to be able to return. She was disciplined in going to the training room and making sure that she was prepared to come back today. And just to land on that knee is absolutely devastating. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Now she's down on the court. We'll take a quick timeout. Stay with us. We're in the final seconds here in this pivotal game. We'll be back with more right after this. All right, Ari Johnson making her way back to the bench here. Cannot put any weight at all on her right knee, and you could hear a pencil drop during that, Carson. It got absolutely quiet in here, and that's out of respect for the player. She's had a tremendous night, 15 points, and we wish her all the best as the training staff, the excellent training staff from Monterey is currently helping her out.
Well, and the good news is that we know she's disciplined when going to the trainer, so as long as she can keep that up, then we know she's going to have a speedy recovery.
Chavez in a little bit of trouble right there. Coach Schneider trying to call timeout here on the close side. Timberview gets the ball. Mora gets the rebound. And the referees blow the play dead. They're saying it's a jump ball. Monterey's confused, but there's 10 seconds to go. They're up by 7. You gotta like where you're at right here.
Oh, you have to.
Mansfield, Timberview, the players kind of realizing as they look up at the scoreboard. But 10 seconds to go. Monterey's gonna have the ball.
And with 10 seconds to go, this game is pretty much iced.
So once again, Monterey now we're looking at trying to figure out what's exactly happening right here in front of us.
I can't tell.
It's looking like there's somebody that fouled out of the game. The officials coming to the table here. Kelly Moore going to go to the free throw line with 9.7 seconds to go. Of course, Monterey, the #1 ranked team in the state, currently facing off against the 2nd ranked team in Mansfield, Timberview. And this has got to feel good for Monterey, right? You called last week's the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. And the more that these teams advance, Carson, the more that feels like a Super Bowl.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we know that every time you advance, we know that the game and the team and just the atmosphere, it's all going to become more intense and more crucial and all the above. Like, you know this, how important this game is, but you also know from here, like I said on Tuesday, it only gets tougher.
So if you want to compare this to the NCAA tournament, if you're wondering, like, what round is this? They keep saying the regional semifinals. The regional semifinals compared to the NCAA tournament is the Sweet 16, right? Tomorrow's game, if Monterey's able to advance and with 10 seconds to go, up by 7, you got to like their odds, it would be the Elite 8 game. And then if they advance past that, they're heading to the state tournament, where it would be the Final Four. And so making it to the Sweet 16, as I like to call it, that feels pretty good. But, man, the Elite 8's even better, right?
Oh, and it's just like you're in college. I mean,
you like it when I put it that way instead of the regional.
I do. It makes it easier for me to understand because, you know, just the regional quarterfinals, I think it's all a little jibber jabber. If you could just say Sweet 16,
that'd be
Elite
nice.
8, you know. But I agree with you. I mean, I think every time you advance it, it gives your team a morale boost. And,
absolutely.
And as a program, as a team, as a player, as a coach, as a supporter of that program, it's just, it makes you feel so good inside.
It's been a tremendous ride for Monterey, and it looks like it's going to be able to continue as they lead by 7 with 9.5 seconds to go here in Wichita Falls. Of course, I need to knock on some wood. Don't want to jinx anything because a lot can happen in almost 10 seconds.
Yep.
I think we're about to see a lot of fouls. They do have a player that fouled out of the game. Brooklyn Terry's done for the day. She's going to end today with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 points. What a game.
Well, and let's just give her a round of applause real quick because,
do it. Yeah.
Man, she came alive in the second half, and I mean, that's all you could ask from her. She has had a phenomenal game.
Mansfield, Timberview, or Monterey playing some like prevent defense right there. Trying to go to the opposite corner, turnover. 5 seconds to go. We are 5 seconds away from Monterey advancing to the regional finals. Of course, this is where they stopped last year. They weren't able to get past this point last year. They lost to Lake Dallas. And they're gonna do a quick foul with 3.3 seconds to go. So Monterey will take a step as a program, right? They're gonna advance farther than they did last year, and that's big time. Chavez about to toe the line.
Well, and as you're building a program, as you have a veteran head coach of 25 years, wow, I can't believe I'm saying that, but man, 25 years, you know Coach Joe Snyder's got everything under her belt. She's got all the little pieces and answers to every question. And you love to see that as your team. You have a lot of veterans and juniors and seniors, but you also got a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are gonna pave the way for your future.
Here it goes, 2, 1, and there it is. Monterey, the Lady Plainsmen are headed to the regional finals for Region 1, Class 5A. They'll play the winner of the next game in Colleyville Heritage and Lubbock Cooper. What a victorious day for Monterey. If you're a fan of the Beat 'em Red, Beat 'em Blue, get your V's up for the victory.
Mr. Ward, what are your thoughts on the game?
Monterey came out red hot. What a great start to the game. They set the tone, they set the tempo. It's like a boxing fight, right? Mansfield Timberview threw their punches in the second half. They responded, but Monterey was able to weather the storm and have a run of their own towards the very end, and were able to capture the win.
I couldn't agree more. What a great display of domination from the Lady Plainsmen. They came out throwing haymakers. I'm gonna use the boxing terms. They came out throwing haymakers in the first half. The Lady Wolves came back in the second half throwing punches, but it wasn't enough to counter the dominance and the force and the drive in the first half of the Lady Plainsmen. What a great game.
It was a business trip. We've called it that since the beginning of today's game, and you saw the Lady Plainsmen take care of business. Currently, we're standing by waiting to hear from head coach Jill Schneider. I know our sideline reporter Hannah Gilchrist is trying to grab coach real quick. Of course, this is a monstrous game, but they don't have much time to reflect on it at all. It is, you put it in the rearview mirror, even though this is probably one of the biggest wins in program history. You can't think about it because tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, you're back at it again. So if you're Monterey, you need to get rehab, you need to eat, you need to sleep, and you need to get refocused and probably watch this next game.
Oh, and yeah, and you enjoy this win for the next hour and a half, 2 hours as this next game's going on. After the Cooper game, you're all focused. You're ready for tomorrow. You're going to come out, hopefully guns a-blazing like you did today.
Absolutely. Waiting for head coach Jill Schneider. 78-69, the final here in Wichita Falls. I see her talking to some of the media personnel here locally. See our team trying to grab her. What a big one. What a big game. And we can't wait to bring you tomorrow's game. Of course, that's going to be coming your way on Lubbock ISD's official YouTube channel right here. So make sure, just come back here, right? Just set your DVRs right now, or, you know, go ahead and just cue it up, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see Hannah trying to grab Coach. As Coach Jill Schneider's getting a lot of congratulatory handshakes. And you'll love to see it. And we're gonna go ahead and get out. If you wanna see that interview, we're gonna post it on our social media, Lubbock ISD TV. That's gonna do it. We'll be back here tomorrow at noon, one final time, 78-69. Monterey beats number 2, Mansfield Timberview. They're headed to the Region 1 5A Finals, or what I like to call the Elite 8. Stay with us tomorrow. We'll see you then. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and beat 'em red, beat 'em blue. Monterey advances.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.